In the last video, we started with thermodynamic chapter where we have started with thermodynamic terms. There I discussed systems, surroundings, boundary. In systems, we have open, closed, isolated system. All these things I have discussed in the last video. In this video, we are going to do thermodynamic properties where we have intensive and extensive properties. So, we will start with thermodynamic properties. So, thermodynamic properties are intensive and extensive properties. So, you take a beaker containing 1000 ml of water and this water is divided into two. One beaker containing 600 ml of water, the other one containing 400 ml of water. So, even if you have 1000 ml of water which you divide into 600 or 400 ml, the color of the water will not change. The taste, they will remain the same. Temperature, all the waters will have the room temperature. Boiling point, melting point, freezing point, they will be the same even if you take 1000 ml or 600 ml or 400 ml. So that will not change. Hardness of water also will not change. They will have the same hardness. So if you can say that color, taste, temperature, hardness, they will not depend on the size or the mass of the substance taken. So those properties are called as intensive properties. Therefore, the intensive properties are the properties which are independent of mass. They will not depend on mass. So you can remember like this, independent. So intensive properties are the properties which will not depend on mass. So color, taste, temperature, hardness, they will not depend on the size or the mass of the substance taken. So they will come under intensive properties. Suppose if you take volume, volume will depend on mass. So it comes under extensive properties. So the extensive properties are the properties which are dependent on mass. For example, you take mass, length, area, they all will depend on mass. So length, when you increase the length, mass also increases. So it depends on mass. Area, so area also depends on mass. So when some properties they depend on mass, they are called as extensive properties. Example, volume, mass, length, area. Now you take the next one, density. So density is nothing but mass by volume. But this density comes under intensive property because this mass is an extensive property, volume is also an extensive property. So when you divide the extensive property by extensive property, it will become an intensive property. That is mass by volume. So it comes under intensive property. It does not density does not depend on mass. Because the density of water, if you take, we are saying 1000 gram per ml. So per ml you are saying, so you are fixing that volume. So it comes under intensive property. So next we have refractive index. So refractive index is nothing but the speed of the light in vacuum divided by the speed of the light in the material. It also comes under intensive property. So only talk about the speed of the light. It does not depend on the matter what we have taken, that is the mass what we have taken. So it comes under intensive property. The next we have moles. Moles will come under extensive property. It depends on mass because when you talk about mole, 1 mole of the substance will weigh its molecular weight. 0.5 mole will be having half of its molecular weight. 0.25 will have half of its 1/4 of its molecular weight. So 1 mole will have a different weight, 0.5 mole will have a different weight. So each mole will have a different weight. Therefore, moles depends on mass, it comes under extensive property. But molar volume will come under intensive property because this is the volume occupied by 1 mole. So we are saying 1 mole, we are fixing that one. So it comes under intensive property, it does not depend on mass because we are fixing the mass, 1 mole. So we are fixing this mass, so it comes under intensive property. Similarly, molar mass, mass comes under extensive property, but molar mass comes under intensive property because this is the mass of 1 mole of the substance. Next we have molarity, molality all will come under intensive property. So molarity is number of moles divided by volume of the solution in liters. We are fixing that one. So it comes under intensive property, does not depend on mass. Molality is the number of moles divided by mass of the solvent in kilogram. So we are fixing that mass, so it comes under intensive property. So next we have heat capacity. Heat capacity is defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. We are not fixing the mass. We are saying simply the substance. We are going to raise the temperature of this substance. We have not fixed the mass. It may be 1 gram, or it may be 1000 gram, or it may be 0.5 gram. So we are not fixing the mass. So we are taking some amount of the substance and we are raising its temperature through 1 degree Celsius. For that, what is the amount of heat required? That is what we call it as heat capacity. So this heat capacity depends on mass. What is the mass taken? Based on that, the heat will be required. So it comes under heat extensive property. But when you take specific heat capacity, we are saying specific, so it comes under intensive property, because it is defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of the substance. Because it is 1 gram, we are specifying the mass of the substance, so it comes under intensive property because it does not depend on mass. We are fixing the mass, so it comes under intensive property. Next we have surface tension. Surface tension will come under intensive property because this is the tension at the surface, that is the substance which that is the drop or molecule which experience some force at the surface. It does not depend on mass, so it is nothing but the energy per unit area. So it comes under intensive property, it does not depend on mass. So these are the intensive properties, and we have here volume, mass, moles, heat capacity, length, area, they all will come under extensive property. In addition to this, we have enthalpy, entropy, internal energy, Gibbs free energy, all will come under extensive properties. You should know this one. Based on that, we will during the thermodynamic classes, I will discuss more and more about this extensive and intensive property wherever possible. So next we have, when you add intensive property with an intensive property, it becomes an intensive property. When you subtract the intensive properties, it will become an intensive property. When you divide, also we are getting an intensive property. When you multiply the intensive property with an intensive property, we are getting an intensive property. So you remember this one. Another one, when you add extensive property, we are getting an extensive. When you subtract extensive property, we are getting extensive property. Divide, when you divide the extensive property with an extensive property, we are getting an intensive property. This you remember, this is very, very important. So when you divide an extensive property with an extensive property, we are getting an intensive property. Then we have, when you multiply the extensive property with each other, you are getting an extensive property. Next we have, when you add an extensive property with an intensive property, then we are getting an extensive property. Subtraction of these two will get an extensive property. Dividing an intensive property with an extensive property, we are getting an extensive property. All these things you have it in mind. Based on that, when they ask questions, we will, based on that, we will apply any one formula to find out which property it belongs to. For example, you take density. Density is equal to mass by volume. Mass is an extensive property. Volume is also an extensive property. So you can apply this immediately. So you are getting the density as the intensive property. So next we have concentration. Concentration is number of moles divided by volume. Number of moles will be an extensive property. Volume is an extensive property. When you divide these two, we are getting an intensive property. So the concentration depends on that, it is nothing but an intensive property. Next you can take viscosity. Viscosity is equal to force by area. Force is an extensive property, depends on mass. What is the mass we have taken? Based on that, the force will change. So area is nothing but an extensive property. So when you divide these two, you are getting an intensive property. So viscosity will come under intensive property. Next we have resistance. So when you talk about resistance, resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. So when the length increases, resistance also increases. area increases, resistance decreases. Resistance is the opposition, that is when there is a movement of electrons, the electrons will be opposed by some force, that is what we call it as resistance. So that resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. But what is the resistance per square? That is, for example, you take so when you remove the proportionality, we are introduce a constant rho. Rho is nothing but we call it a resistivity. So you can have resistivity is equal to R into A divided by L. So now you can write R is the extensive property because it depends on mass. So R is an extensive property. Area is also an extensive property. So when you multiply these two, we are getting an extensive property. Divided by length is an extensive property. So when you divide these two, we are getting an intensive property. So we can say that resistivity is an intensive property. We are saying the resistance is an extensive property because the resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. So when you take a rod, when there is an electron movement from this point to this point, what will happen? When the electron moves, there is an opposition to the movement of the electron. That is what we call it as resistance. So when the length of the rod increases, the resistance will also increases because there is an increase in mass, so the resistance increases. When the area of cross section of this rod increases, the resistance decreases. So we can say that the resistance depends on the matter, length and area. So it is an extensive property. But the resistivity depends. Resistivity means the resistance within a square meter. That depends on only that area. So the resistance, we are fixing that one. So it becomes an intensive property. From the formula also we can derive, and from this unit when you divide what is the resistance, that is what we call it as resistivity. That becomes an intensive property. Now here we have 4 points that you remember. Here we have 4 points and here we 3 points. If we remember all these things, we can easily derive the remaining one. Thank you for watching.